Alright, breaking art. Art emergency. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen of the internet? It's just gonna be one of my simple, speed paint, space paints. I was wanting to do a bayou kind of thing like I did about this time last year, because it gets a little swampy. But I picked a real dry day to do it, which was a mistake. Actually, it was a fluctuating day. But hey, more on that later. Check this out. It's like watching this video and editing this, I found this cool cloud texture. So now I can find ways of emulating it. And then because the cloud came over, it got humid, I brought the fire. The fire helps it dry. Do not do that. Do not do that. I do not condone bringing the fire. It's not good, especially if you are a young person. That's a bad idea. Don't do it unless you know what you're doing. And even then, just don't do it. This concludes my safety disclaimer. And always wear a mask and wear gloves. You see there, I almost lifted that without gloves. Because it's a bad day. And it was a bad day anyway. Last week it was cottonwood seeds, and this week it's fluctuating temperature. And what happened was, okay, it's real dry. So I thought the bottom part was dry. So I went ahead and laid down my stencils, but clouds had rolled over and the humidity dropped. And when you're doing this, you gotta adjust your technique with your climate. But I live in an arid, deserty climate. So if we get storms come in, it's gonna change and fluctuate. So when I pulled that up, I got, the paper left behind, and I tried scraping it up, and it's just lost. I was gonna abandon it. I was done with it. I got to thinking, I'm involved in a lot of groups and circles on Google Plus and groups on Facebook, and I seen a lot of people struggling with pieces and give it up, said, I'm about to throw this one in the trash, and I'm there going, no, don't give up on it. You gotta get you gotta get the bad ideas out of the way first.
Never give up, never surrender.
And I guess the universe was like, okay, let's see if you could do that, buddy. And I was about to throw it away. I was like, you know what? Let's see if we can fix it. I think I said in the last video, it was like, that's how you learn. You learn by fixing. So we're trying to make lemonade out of it. There, the temperature went dry again. I couldn't mix my water down there. And if you go my experience, if you go too much on the clear side to wetting it up a little bit, you could ruin the canvas altogether. So I was like, okay, we'll do like that one video and touch it up in Photoshop. It's gonna have to go there anyway. Then, so trying to decide what to do with the cloth-like area, it's like, I know, I'll just throw in some gold, and I really like a surprise, because you got that paper texture, and then you throw the gold on it, and with the black underneath, you get that cool bronzy look, which is what I was hoping for, because I want to do like fossilized or calcialized steel structure. What would a building look like in 100,000 years? So we have no data for that, because 100,000 years ago there weren't buildings, but 100,000 years from now, a lot of our structures are going to be part of the fossil record. That's going to be really interesting to see. Then I was like, okay. I took like 10 photographs of it, and I thought they were good, and I guess I rushed my photography skills, which is a no-go. I'm pretty proficient at like product photography, and for some reason, I thought they were good, and I brought them into the computer, and every single photograph I took had a little bit of blur to it. So I was gonna pull everything out, take pictures of it again and everything. So that phrase, you learn by fixing. You said it. Go out there and fix stuff. So I gotta beef up the digital skills anyway. So I just went to fixing it. It's like, okay, well, we'll fix it and be done. Which is like, this piece has become so time consuming it's distracting from a from scratch digital piece that I'm working on. That's like a pretty sick octopus. But you know, sometimes art takes you on a journey, and you gotta let it happen, no matter how frustrating it is. It can't be fun all the time. Learning's a struggle. If it's you know, if you don't struggle with it, struggling is a sign of strength. You know, if you take on tasks that you don't think you can do, you might not be able to do it, but you could learn something along the way. And that's a good thing. All right. Clouds. I don't know what was up with them clouds. And then here is, you know, just tweaking it, trying to get it right, and I don't like nothing. It was like I put those rocks in the foreground, and it just wasn't right. So I blocked in some birds. Get some bird action in there. Have something going on. Some sort of action. Some sort of drama in the subject matter. Now I think I'm, you know, just gonna work on the birds to help distract from the background. But I kind of like the way things are going with it. Not like this piece, just because, you know, the bad history, the hard time it's given. But learned a lot, and I really did. I feel, you know, I feel like I'm conducting an operation. You know, this thing is in surgery. It's like I will save the patient. You know, we as artists tend to give up on pieces and just start over and jezzo over it, and you know, maybe if we took the mentality that we would, like, if we were, you know, if we had major surgery and, you know, the doctor goofed, and like a simple goof, it was like, oh god dang it, I dropped my wristwatch in there. Well, this piece is done. Next patient. Yeah. So it's time to be professional. It's like you start something, you finish it. Might not be good, but you learn. And I'm learning a lot about the birds. Like, who's it? Jason Morgan, the wildlife guy. He put up a video of painting feathers, which is perfect timing, because like I blocked in those birds, and then his video popped up. I was like, heck yeah, I learned how to do feathers. And that is why this piece is actually gonna be a two-parter. I'm still not done with it. It's still the struggle, but there's a reason why I decided that. I start having a real lot of fun with these rocks and putting in the details, and I, you know, got a little carried away with what I wanted to invest in this piece. Doing those rocks, I gotta fix the gravel section, but you know, doing those girders, those fossilized girders, I started doing like other paintings inside the painting and everything, which you're not supposed to do, but you know, the good thing about art is you're always constantly doing things you're not supposed to do. So I went with it, and then it was like, well, what do I do? Is it just gonna be this rock that's gonna have good detail in it, or am I gonna fix up them birds? You know, it's like I can finish this tonight and have a video, or I could spend another week on it and see what it can do. So I decided to go with that, especially when I was painting that weird skull dragon thing. It's blocking it out with the shadows. And then I like paint with the black. I like pushing things back. That's what your blacks do when you're adding shadows. It's pushing, like if you think of it, like it's pushing things into the background. That's what your black does. Opacity 20, and opacity with pressure. That's how that happens. Well, if you stayed this far, thank you very much. If you're ready for the next one, I probably got this on a playlist. You might just wait for the next one, or if you're watching this in between, you know, Next one will be next week sometime. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Later.